child is his way.
Welcome to Our Only Thing. I'm your host, Pablo. Today, we're counting down our favorite horror films directed by women and gender expansive. Horror as a film genre has been on a roll lately, but over the last 4 decades or so, some of the most celebrated and talked about horror films have come to us thanks to women directors. I know many of my favorite films have. So without further ado, let's dive in. At number 10, we kick off the list with Trouble Every Day, directed by Claire Denis. At the turn of the millennium, Claire Denis was a part of the new French extremity movement when she shocked with this fever dream of lust and cannibalism that premiered at the 2001 Cannes Film Festival. It deals in themes of predation, rare illness, and symbolic vampirism. While it's not for the faint of heart, it deserves its place among the best horror has to offer. At number 9, we have A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, directed by Anna Lilia Mirpour. Vampire films are making a comeback for sure, but back in 2014, Mirpour gave us a vision of a cool young woman who wears a cape, rides a skateboard, and deals out karmic justice on the streets of Bad City, Iran, while possibly falling in love. This is the film that put Mirpour on the map, who has since focused more on television with work on the series Legion, an anthology series like Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone remake, and Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. At number 8, it's The First Omen, directed by Arkasha Stevenson. The only prequel on this list earns its place by being one of the creepiest and most visually interesting films of 2024. It more than deserves to be in the Omen franchise with shocking deaths and a persistent sense of foreboding. Stevenson had been working on television before The First Omen, which was her feature film debut, putting the horror world on notice. At number 7, Please Accept the Invitation, directed by Karen Kusama. The slow burn king. We all fear what could happen at a dinner party. Maybe we make a fool of ourselves or get cornered into a boring conversation. But I doubt none of us have attended a dinner party that turned out quite like this one. This film has a little bit of everything: exploration of grief, awkward ex-lover interactions, and a creepy cult. Kusama lets this one simmer to its absolute breaking point before letting all hell break loose. Coming in at number 6 is Raw, directed by Julia Ducournau. Ducournau's feature film debut is a cannibal coming-of-age film that has plenty of gross outs, a propulsive soundtrack, and one of the better twists in recent memory. Her follow-up feature, Titan, won the Palme d'Or at the 2021 Cannes Film Festival, cementing that she has a long film career ahead of her. At the halfway point at number 5 is Near Dark, directed by Kathryn Bigelow. Bigelow cut her teeth on this vampire flick, which was her solo feature film debut. It's the lesser talked about late 80s vampire flick when compared to The Lost Boys or The Monster Squad, but it has its weird quirks all the same, and has a through line to celebrated sci-fi horror films of the era with the casting of Bill Paxton, R.I.P., Lance Henriksen, and Jeanette Goldstein. At number 4, we have my personal favorite on the list, American Psycho, directed by Mary Harron. More of a dark comedy than outright horror, Harron's adaptation of Bret Easton Ellis's gruesome satire of 80s Wall Street yuppies features Christian Bale's breakout performance and fantastic smaller performances in comparison by Justin Theroux, Chloe Sevigny, Willem Dafoe, Reese Witherspoon, and Jared Leto. It's both hilarious and disturbing under Harron's direction, and to this day is one of the most memeable films in horror. Entering the top 3, we have The Babadook, directed by Jennifer Kent. Motherhood, grief, and depression are a recipe for disaster. Kent's feature debut changed the horror landscape and led the charge for a brief period of time where high-profile horror releases focused on the effects of trauma. It's both scary and unpredictable, and the rare horror film that doesn't require gore to get on top lists. At number 2, it's The Substance, directed by Coralie Farjat. The ultimate women's body horror film that skewers Hollywood show business while pointing a black mirror at modern beauty standards. Speaking of beauty standards, the makeup effects and gore in this one are things of beauty. Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley earned acclaim for their performances. This one simply is an all-timer that belongs on the Mount Rushmore of body horror. Remember, you are one. And at number 1, it's I Saw the TV Glow, directed by Jane Schoenbrunn. Schoenbrunn's feature debut is a trans allegory so masterfully spun that it feels like it could apply to anyone who is terrified they might not be living their truth. It tops this list due to its perfect encapsulation of the late 90s and the television experience of that era, as well as its conveying of the trans experience vis-a-vis societal pressures and internal anxieties. For my money, I Saw the TV Glow has one of the best monologues of the last decade by Jack Haven and a severely underrated performance by Justice Smith. We're blown away by Schoenbrunn's work on this film and excited to see what they do next. And that's our list. What are some of your favorite horror films directed by women? Share with us in the comments or on social at Our Only Thing on Blue Sky and Instagram. See you next time.